On the 24th day of Vlogmas, what does Sandy Mom have for you? You spending in knots at our pretty good prod. Piacilitas Bethlem vicinu clod. To a preacle like hatras, sirs nina yud. Kadebesutes tasavudelamumsu. Okay, screwed it up a little. I did it off the cuff, but it was a song about the baby Jesus, and I thought how fitting, because back in the day when we went to the family mass on December 24th, we saw the creche. It's called the creche. And they have the nativity scene, basically the nativity scene, and they have Mary and Joseph, and they have, I think the creche was where baby Jesus laid. Maybe that was what it's called. I don't know. Forget the word I said. I don't know what it is now. But anyhow, the little manger they made with straw and hay, and it was empty. And everyone would go up after church and show their little children that, you know, that's how we learned, at least Catholic people, even though I don't know if I put up the vlogs. I'm ashamed to be a Catholic because how the churches won't help us, but whatever. Anyhow, there's a difference between going to church and God and Jesus. But anyhow, I would go show my children the baby Jesus wasn't there, and the next day, because at some point I do remember going to church on Christmas Day, long, long ago in my first marriage. And then when you go on Christmas Day, baby Jesus was in the manger. And I remember always on Christmas Eve, the last song was Joy to the World. So you go out of church, you started with Silent Night, I think was the first song. Kind of, you know, very peaceful, and what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. But that's the word, whatever it is, you know, somber, yes. And then when you leave, it's Joy to the World, the Lord has come. And I kind of think they probably start that on Christmas Day, that song, maybe. I don't remember, it's too long ago. But I just want to tell you a little about that and just sing a little song because it had to do with the baby Jesus. And ironically, I wanted to show you this. I had got it a while ago at the $1.25 store. And I tried it in the store and it worked. It might have been in my only vlog I had about the dollar store, $1.25 store. And it shines so bright. But I didn't turn it on because I was planning to use it for a vlog on the 24th. And I turned it on, and look how dim the light is. And it wasn't even used. I should have enjoyed it if I would have known it just would go kerplonk without even using it. But it kind of is fitting for Polly in our world right now. The light's been dimmed. And what many parts of the United States is going through weather-wise, and I don't even know if anywhere else in other countries right now they're having bad weather, but you know, it is unbelievable. The weather is, I think it's right now, well, in the morning it started either 40 or 50 degrees, and they had warned us already days ago about the storm. So it's 40 or 50, and they said it was going to be a big drop. It was going to go down from 50 to 20. And it went down, and now it's 6 degrees, and it feels like -17. And I wanted to take a video for you guys to see how horrible it was. Well, it still is, but the wind and the blowing of the snow. But there was no way I could, with my body temperature, I can't control it. There's no way I could open that door. I am so cold, it's unreal. I can't feel my feet, and I have 2 pairs of socks on and bundled up and this and that and another thing. And actually I spent the whole day on the phone. First I thought it was Saturday. Well, when you'll see this, it will be Saturday, but when I was making my calls, it was Friday. But I thought it was all day Saturday, but then I realized it wasn't, so I called our power company to ask if, God forbid, well, let's knock on wood, if we lost power, that, you know, my son and I, we have to have power, and sadly, me more than him. Of course, him, yes, because his heart would have to work harder, but he's not needing anything that needs to be plugged in as of yet. Again, knock on wood. But with me, without heat, I would get hypothermia within minutes. So, oops, my thumb again. So they said, a note from my doctor. I got someone good this time. Well, I thought it was. And they said that they have to have a specific sentence written in there. And because I had a note from the doctor, but it wasn't good enough. So it has to have the doctor's license number and on letterhead, which it was all that, but it had to have a certain sentence in it. So I wrote it all down, and I was going to chart the message, but I couldn't copy and paste it for some reason. And I figured by the time I write all that, it was like after 12 noon by the time I got through the power company, because I'm sure people were calling because there were outages all over the place. People are freezing. So I called the secretary. I had a very nice secretary. Very nice. I thanked her profusely for being kind, because other places I've called, they're not kind. They're mean. People are mean everywhere. I don't know why, what's going on in our world, but she was very kind, and she said she sent it stat and everything, and I said, you know, tell the doctor I'm really sorry I had to bother him, because this is the only doctor who's really, you know, looking into, trying to help look into, but I mean, we're at a standstill. There's no more he can think of. Polly's father is supposed to pick up 2 things for me to do 2 more tests, but that never happened. So there are still 2 more tests to help figure out why this is happening to me. But anyhow, I was surprised. Later in the day, I got a message on the chart thing from the doctor himself. I thought it would be a secretary, so you can tell he cares, because it's the 23rd of December. Well, you'll be watching this the 24th. But he went out of his way, and I know he has little children, and, you know, he took the time to say he did it, faxed it. I had the fax number, but it didn't go through. So they must have gave me the wrong fax number, because I repeated back to her, and then I said for her to repeat it back to me. So it was totally repeated many times, so she probably gave me the wrong one. He said, but he put it in my charts under the letters. So there are letters somewhere that I didn't even know about. So it won't work, sadly. I mean, I appreciate he did it, but they have to have a letter on file. They gave me a number. If we lose power, then they would come here, and I don't know. If there's snow, I don't think you can run a generator unless they hook it up to the furnace in the basement, but they said they will help us. But sadly, they can't without that letter, so he said it's there when they're back. I think he says they come back on Tuesday. So Monday on my birthday, let's hope that's not the present I get. So everyone will be off on my birthday, so I guess I should consider that an honor that everyone's closed. Isn't that great? Yeah, it's a holiday. No, just kidding. But anyhow, so maybe they do hook something up to your furnace. It is very cold in here. I do not know why, but I was thinking, did I tell you the weather yet? 6 degrees out, feels like minus 17. The wind was so bad. I did not sleep at all. I've been sleeping a bit more lately, which is nice, but I couldn't, because Polly's room is in one side of the house and my room is on the other, and we have big trees in both the front and back. So I don't know why I just didn't go in his room and lay on the floor or something, because, you know, when you're constant stress, you just can't think straight. And plus, I was so stressed out from the phone, and by the time I got finished, it was like, I don't know, 1 in the afternoon. Then I had to call about my medicine, that expensive one, to see if there's anything else. There isn't. So I said I stopped texting his dad, except I text him about if we lose power, he'd have to figure a way, but he, you know, put us somewhere where we don't freeze. He didn't answer. Then I wrote, you know, because we're under his insurance, I said, I really need my medicine, and for some reason your insurance won't pay for it, and I have to have it. I need to take care of our child, since I'm the only one taking care of him. He didn't answer that either. He has not answered anything. So I reiterated that his son needs a coat and a hat and gloves, basically to sleep. It is so cold. I don't know what's wrong, because it will be 10 years ago in January that we had, the first time I heard the word polar vortex, which they were using today. It was cold, cold, cold. And in fact, I hate to say this, well, I'm not going to say the whole thing. I don't want to jinx ourselves, so knock on wood again, knock on wood. Something broke that warms us, Don't say the word in the comments, please. So I took the kids. So it'll be 10 years ago, January. I took the kids, and we went to a hotel, and Mr. Wonderful there took care of picking out a furnace. Well, apparently, I think, after all these years, he picked out the cheapest one, the smallest one, which, you know, a furnace has to be so many, I don't know if it's BTUs, like an air conditioner, but it's got to be big enough for your house. It isn't, because that's the only reason. Besides, my house isn't very well insulated still. The furnace was obviously too small. He just picked whatever the cheapest one was. Forgot where I'm going with the story. I guess that's why so it's cold. Obviously I'm more colder than Polly, because he's always saying, are you cold? Are you cold? And I'm like, yeah, and he's not that cold. But when he sleeps, that's what I worry, because when you sleep, you need to use more energy to keep yourself warm. And I don't know where I'm going with that story. But yeah, so he would need hat and gloves and whatever. So I gave him my extra blanket. So he has a comforter and a blanket. And, which, you know, his father, I can't stand him, honest to God. He goes to Kohl's every weekend with our daughter and spends money galore on her. Why can't he go, and they have sales galore, and get him a comforter? He's got her old used comforter. I've been telling him forever about a comforter, to get him a comforter, a nice warm blanket, a pillow that's his own. And, you know, at the beginning I text him about that. Nothing. Ignores him. So I gave him everything I can. So, but the worrying about the trees, my gosh, because I thought, I have trees in the front, like I said, he has trees in the back. So I just was sitting here close enough. The kitchen's next to his room, so I figure if I hear some crackling of trees, I can see, well, not everything, because I got my cabinets, but I got 2 windows, I could kind of watch the trees. If they came down on the house. So for a while there, I thought I felt a little bit of peace that, you know, they'd fax the thing to the power company. At least, I mean, I'm sure I'd be on hold forever, which is another thing. I do have a landline, but, you know, if you're on hold forever, the battery goes down pretty quick. So I do have a couple of those portable chargers. I don't know if they work, so I charge them up right away in case, you know, I was just left with a cell phone, in case I had a call. So we still are riding out the storm, literally. But when the wind gust came, my gosh, it was awful. And still tonight, it's still going to be a rough night here. It's declared a state of emergency. I think that was already on Thursday. So we were warned. I heard on the nightly news, the big news. I don't know where it comes from. It's someone named Len. I always watch him. I don't know. It says nightly news from somewhere else. I don't know, New York. I don't know. Some big place, like World News. The World News, that's what it's called. But anyhow, they talked about how it's going to be, you know, New York, especially upstate and western where we are. So people already knew for a few days. I guess they can predict winter better than summer, because we all saw how bad they were doing in the weather reports in the summer. But anyhow, so people knew, right? And they were saying, stay off the roads, don't go unless you have to. That extra Christmas gift is not worth your life or someone else's, or that extra, you know, seafood or whatever expensive meal you want, it's not worth it. But people were still going, and people were still going to the airport, honest to goodness. And if you did that, I mean no ill will in what I'm saying. This is just my opinion. If you already know a storm is coming, and I'm not a flyer. Well, I couldn't afford to fly, but I hate to fly. If George Clooney said, I will whisk you and your son away to my island, and there will be a beautiful red Corvette, and I will take care of the both of you. This is, of course, he's divorced, but he's not. He's got a wife, so this is my fantasy here. Just come with me to the airport today. I would not go. And y'all know who've been around, I really like my George Clooney. There's no way, because, you know, I know when my first husband and I came back from Arizona for Christmas, so we went to Arizona after I finished high school. It was actually in the fall we left, September, I think. Yeah. And then we came back for Christmas, and then we had to go back, and I found out once we got back to Arizona, we were the only plane that they let out. They were de-icing the plane. Oh, thank goodness I didn't know while we were on the plane. And it was a very awful ride, and the oxygen mask came down, and there was turbulence. And besides, when we moved back, when I had to come back on the plane, I never flew again. But anyhow, I would use common sense and think, I don't think there's going to be flights. Well, they closed down our airport, and we're not a major hub of airports. Well, maybe we are. I don't know much about airports. It's not like, JFK or what's the one in Chicago? O'Hare, is that in Chicago? I don't know, LAX and all that, but it's still a big airport. So people are all stranded. They, one guy, they interviewed him, and he says, well, I really want to go. Now, I can't go and have a nice Christmas party. Are you kidding me? I didn't hear nothing about the baby Jesus and all that. Nothing about the real meaning of Christmas. And he said, I hope there's a bar somewhere. I think it's time for a drink. So he's stranded in the airport hoping there's a bar. I don't know. Is it just me? I don't know where people's brains are. Again, if that would be you and you'd be saying that, I'm not trying to say nothing bad about you. I'm just talking about my own feelings. We all have a right to our own feelings. I just thought it was odd. Just really odd. And they put him on the news several times. Well, they repeated that story, which just tells you where our society is in the gutter. Yeah, let's get drunk. Because anyhow, when you drink alcohol, your body temperature gets colder. So, whatever. So now, we don't have people getting to places, intermingling in different states. I don't know if they're going to different countries, but different states, spreading the germs and bringing them back. We have them all together squished in airports, mingling, doing God knows what, spreading germs. And then, like one woman, she said, they drove to get to this airport because they figured if they did that, so they went ahead of time before the storm, then they could get out. Well, I don't know if this is a case of karma. So this was, okay, so the story came out today, Friday. So they left, I guess, Thursday or Wednesday night. So then they spent the night. So I don't know what night it was. But anyhow, so they go to the airport on Friday, trying to beat the system, or Mother Nature more. It's Mother Nature. Guess what? They got a flight, it was canceled. They got another flight, it was canceled. Then the airport closed down, so no flights are going out. And guess what? Going ahead of time, a day or two, taking the drive to get to our airport to go to, I forgot where they were going. The only way they can get out of there is Wednesday. So it was almost a week. So I hope it was all worth it. You know what? To me, I would think people would say, this is too dangerous. It's not worth risking your life. Yes, family may be gone by next Christmas. You never know what can happen. But right now, we knew ahead of time it was very dangerous weather. I mean, Buffalo, which is like 45 minutes from us, they're getting slammed. I mean, luckily so far, again, knock on wood, we don't have a lot of snow, but it's still to come. And oh yeah, I was gonna, this morning, like I said, I didn't sleep, so right away I put my Instacart together because, can't get in my car. There's no way. You just can't get in it. It's frozen. There's no way to get in it. And like I say, this would not be a day I would attempt to try to go anywhere because a good car can have trouble in this cold weather. But anyhow, so already 5:45, I put my order in. It said it would be here between 7:40 and 8 because I wanted to make sure we had, a few things what we needed to get us through the next, well, it will be up until my birthday for sure was going to be bad. Actually, the whole next week, but for sure by Monday or Tuesday it was going to be bad. And I want to get Tylenol because I heard they have a shortage on Tylenol. And so I wanted to make sure I got that. And Polly can't take Motrin because of his kidney. And isn't it interesting, this father can't take Motrin either. And I knew I had a bit of Motrin left, well, probably a half a bottle, but at a half a bottle I want to just make sure we have it on hand. And that half a bottle wasn't there. That's what really hurried me to make sure I got some Motrin. So I'm sure it walked out the door 2 months ago. So we have no Tylenol for Polly. We meaning Polly and me. There's no Tylenol because there's none in the store. But they changed the time from 7:40 to 8 to 9, and I knew it wouldn't work, so didn't come at 9, didn't come at 10. Basically, they had no shoppers, and this was still in the morning when the weather was warm. Like I said, it only started getting bad around, I looked at the clock too, I want to say 12:30 or 1:30 p.m. So this was way early. I wanted to beat the thing. I wanted to get Polly some goldfish crackers that he loves, a little surprise, because, you know, surprise, surprise, Christmas will come and go and nothing will be happening because his father's not going to make it happen for us. So, well, for Polly, it doesn't matter to me. Well, it matters to me for Polly, but you know what I mean? I don't care for me. This is all coming out wrong. His father would never get me anything. I'm just saying he would not, like, drop off a little tree since apparently he broke the one we had. And he broke all the little ornaments I had. It was the tree we used last year. Last year I think I bought a new one because the one we had before, they're just cheap little trees I get. They're tabletop. But anyhow, so, you know, I had mentioned numerous times about him just dropping off a tree with some Dollar Tree ornaments, $1.25 tree, whatever. He just ignores because, you know, his ho-ho-ho he is taking care of all his needs. So, as you see, our dim light just keeps getting dimmer and dimmer. And, yeah, it really sucks. But I don't understand what has happened to people's common sense, because they're telling people to stay off the road. And can you imagine the mess at the airport? So people, I mean, there's just so many hotels. I mean, people that actually made it in who maybe thought to come early, because some people did. They showed like they were going to arrive today or you're today, like the 23rd, 24th, but they came a few days early. So they may be in hotels, and these people that are here, that came from somewhere else, or maybe got a flight from wherever to here, and then they have to make a connection here to go somewhere else. They're getting hotels. Maybe there won't be hotels. So there's a lot of people stuck in the airport, intermingling their germs. You know, we have 3 different things in the hospital. They're telling you not to go to the hospital because, well, this has been for a couple months now because there's so much of, I don't even want to say what's going around here. So, you know, they were worried about the holiday season with people traveling and coming back, and there will be an uptick in all that, you know, not only the C thing, but the F thing, and the, what was the other thing called? The thing that the babies are getting, but everyone's getting, is older people and all. So anyhow, they have a triple-demic, or whatever they called. But now people are very close quarters together in an airport from all around wherever. It's going to be a hot mess, to say the least. So anyhow, I guess our horrible Christmas with nothing, not even a nativity scene. That I wanted to get so bad because I'm not even going to talk about what he did to it. But anyhow, just a nativity scene so I could read some Bible passages and we could celebrate like that. But anyhow, sometimes it's okay to be put in a position where you're totally broke as a joke, because you know what? We don't have to worry about being stuck in an airport with other people's germs. We don't have to worry about going out to get that last gift that we haven't got any gifts because you can't open the car, and if you can, it probably won't make it too far. So I guess there are some perks in being put in this position of poverty by Polly's father. While he's living it up, gonna probably have a leg of lamb for Christmas Day or whatever, Christmas Eve, and presents galore and everything, and shame on him. But karma is a you know what. But anyhow, I just found it ironic how this light had dimmed. And Paul even said when I asked him to get me the light here, he said, you should do a vlog, something about how the light is dimming. I forgot what he said now. Obviously, I didn't say what he said. Forgot, and I was going to interject what he said. But anyhow, we were on the same path, like, you know, how it's dimming. Something was dimming. I don't remember. Now I feel bad. I don't remember. But anyhow, I just wish the wind would calm down so I could go lay down, because I don't think I could last another night. So, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're not stuck in some airport. I hope you're just staying local and enjoy the holiday. So, it's almost here. It is, when you see this, it will be the day of the night before Christmas. When all through the house, not as something was, it was the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. When what my wondering eyes should appear, but a little old something in a sleigh and reindeer. That's all wrong. Anyhow, hope you got everything all together. I hope you're not living somewhere going through this polar vortex with this awful wind that literally shakes the house. The house was shaking. It felt like a train was coming through the house. It's still windy, and the gusts are the worst. I haven't even looked out the door, back or front. I'm sure my backyard already was a war zone, because his father had said long ago, I don't know, the last storm, he, cut it up and put it to the road, but he never did that, so I don't know if I even got a yard left, but man, those are just first world problems. But anyhow, I will end with a song I usually start with. My mouth is so dry, so who knows? But I shall do this. Eglite, six Geister Tuganese. I hope your eglites, means Christmas tree, are beautiful. I hope your holidays are wonderful. And again, make new memories, but don't forget the old. Just share, talk about those empty chairs and what's missing. And make the best. And don't worry if you couldn't go out and get that last present that you needed. But when we come back from the holidays, share your holidays with us. Let me know what you had. We may have nothing, but it will be nice to hear what other people had, because it brings us happiness. So, there'll probably be another video, probably just repeating the first one, because I don't think anyone will probably watch it, or will be getting ready, or maybe even celebrating. But, I want to finish Vlogmas the best I can. Unless, let's knock on wood that we don't. 1, 2, 3. That we don't, what. Not going to say it. Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe, like, hit the notification bell. Leave a comment. It would be nice to see a comment. But you don't have to. But, be the reason someone has a smile on their face. Be kind to people and yourself. Don't forget to share. Sharing is caring. Don't forget to pay forward. It feels good in your heart, Polly's heart, and my heart. Most importantly, stay safe. If I were to be going to someone's house, which we couldn't here because you can't drive anywhere, you're not supposed to drive, but I know people are, I would mask if it was me. I would just mask, because you never know. One day you could be good, the next day you could be sick. So, that's just what I would do. Just my suggestion. You don't have to listen, obviously. You do you, boo. We're just going to stay here and just stare at each other. I guess we could have a staring contest. I was going to order a few things. We're going to have I don't know, these we call TV dinners. A turkey with stuffing and mashed potatoes. 2 TV dinners. They're not called TV dinners, whatever they're called now. We were going to have that and some cranberry sauce and whatever else I said. Oh yeah, I wanted to order a kid shovel. I thought maybe I could use that to, at least if we had if we had to get Instacart to come, so I could try to shovel with a little kid shovel. So at least, because if it's not shoveled, they're not going to come in. I mean, if they could get their car in the driveway, at least the path. But like I said, we couldn't get an order, and it's just going to get worse. So whatever it will be, whatever we got here, we'll just do good with. So anyhow, enough said. Another long one, sorry. I probably lost you along the way, but I truly hope you have a blessed, wonderful, Merry Christmas and Christmas Eve, or whenever you celebrate it. So for now, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for coming back. Just thanks. See you again.